today you join me on the third round of the Winter League at Oak Tree Fishery. Now, for me it's the third round, it is actually the fourth round, but there's 8 matches, you're allowed to drop 2. You take your 6 best scores out of 8 due to work. So I'm going to post this as the third round, but in actual fact it's the 4th match in this series. Like I said, I had to drop 1. Now, what I noticed is we didn't have a lot of time in the last videos to go over the rigs. The last match we fished, we were on the main lake. Today we've pulled the main lake again, and I'm on peg 4, which is around the other side of the island. Never fished it in my life, but the rigs are the same as what I used last time on the second round, so it's easy to go through. And if you're watching the second round one and you're wondering about the rigs, this is going to help you out. So, depth-wise, we've got around, I want to say about close to 4 foot. I found a little hollow out there, got a nice little marker, and today is just simple. I've got maggot, and I'm going to pot in maggot and fish double or single, depending on the conditions, of maggot over the top. I'll alternate how much I'm putting in depending on how the fishing goes. There's a lot of silver in here, and we'll just see how that goes. I've got a little bit of bread as well for punch. You're not allowed to do any floating baits, which we're not going to do in the middle of winter, but we're just going to do a little bit of punch and see how that goes on. So I've got a Chianti style float. It's a Preston Innovations 4x16s. I've just started experimenting a lot with the Preston floats and sort of getting on with them really well. The main line is 013 Gen Pro line, and I've got a little bit of bulk underneath the float, and I've got a little backstop around 6 inches away just in case the wind picks up to hold it. And then I've got the bulk that I've got is 3 number 9s, and I've got a couple space around a foot between of number 10s, and then another little small bulk just before we get to the hook link where there's another 2. So I've spread the shot out. We want it to have a nice steady fall, and try and pick the fish up through the water if we're potting in. It's just important fishing this exact method, just with there being a lot of hide, you can sometimes pick them up through the water, and then that can obviously change your attack or your approach. Now the hook link we've got on there is 011, and it's a tiny little hook link, and I'm trying to think what it is. It's a small Preston's hook actually. I'll get back to you on what that is, because I don't normally fish it. This is a pre-tied hook link, and I'd use them for winter because your hands get cold. It's easy to change. I'm not messing about. I've got a lot of stuff on my job at this time of year, so it's just nice and easy to have those hook links tied, ready to go in a box, which is nice and easy. So that's that rig. We've got a 6 midi reactor core elastic on, so it is light. We're not wanting to bump the fish. They're more than likely going to be smaller silvers and hide, so we just don't want that to be knocked off. Next rig that we've got is on a pink elastic, which is a 10 reactor core. And this is really down the edge. Now down the edge doesn't always produce, but the last match we fished was similar conditions. I had a couple down the edge to really bump me up in the weights. One were about £9, one would have been about £6. So really it's just a throwaway line, but if I get a chance to catch anything, then it's a bonus. And that's got a little Guru 25 gram, not 0.25 gram, sorry, Guru float, and they're just really robust when you're fishing down the edge. They're fishing around 3 foot a depth. Got it dotted right down, and this with a shot in pattern is a little bit different. More of the shot is bulked towards down to the bottom of the hook because we want it to get down faster. The rig itself is 014 with an 013 hook link, so slightly heavier than before, but nothing crazy. And a hook, we've got a 16s Preston hook on there, and again I'll let you know what that is in a second, and that's just so I can put 3 dead reds on it, because that's what we're going to be trying for down the edge. Right, so showing you the other rig is a inline cage Preston and the ICM system, and it's a small 25 grammer, and I've got soaked 4 mils and dead reds with an 8-inch hook link, which you have to have with a 16s hook on, a Preston hook again, and it's an MCMB hook is that, and again it's just really simple, and we just fish that to the island, and it's really easy, and we can put some bread on that if we want to put some bread on it. So what we'll do now is we'll jump to seeing what the hooks are, and we can have a little look at that. Right guys, so what we're saying, this is a little hook link box. I'm sure you've seen it before, and I have all the hook links in for winter fishing. This is an SFLB is the hook that I've got to the 011, and the other one is a XSHB, bloody hell that were a mouthful, and that's the other one on the Guru hook link. So like I say, I get this hook link box, and it can just sit in there all hunky dory. I'm just going to check the times, so we are coming up to the times. We've got 3 minutes to go. So what we're going to do in that time is just get us rig ready to rock and roll, get the bait on, get ready to drop. And like I said to you, I'm going to start with 2 maggots. I always like a red and a white when I first start. Don't ask me why. It's just a thing. I think it happens a lot of the times. You get in, you find what you like, and you stick with it. I'm only going to put a pinch of maggots in, so there's probably about 15 in there to start off with, just for the first drop in. I'm not going to be potting in any sort of big pots or anything like that. Just have a little double check at the time. So around 9:58. So what I'm going to do is get the pole ready, get the rig ready to drop, and I can literally just pot straight in when we get out there, and we're good to go straight away. Always good to be ready on the drop in. The faster you can get in, the better. Being a bit gentle with the pot. Gonna be nice and cold on the old hands today, that is for sure. Oi! Well, that'll be the worst pound of my life. I might have to cobble a pound together out of coppers.
Yeah, if you want. Might as well do, because there's no down here.
I like how he calls the pound when he's on flyer.
Right? Well, I'm hoping that's going to bring fish over here.
All in!
We haven't had a brew yet.
Right boys, we're getting a bit of pound challenges. I can't say I'm overly confident where I am in comparative, but we'll have a pound at never the same. We're starting out on a long line, about 11.5 metres. What we found varying from the following matches is that the fish tend to push out a little bit more, and I fished a little bit shorter on round 2, about 8 metres, so I've looked at getting it in closer, far away, and then I've got my extra section if they push out to 13 metres, and if I really had to, I could get a 14.5 metre section out as well, which is the limit on this pond. We're trying to approach it relatively negative, and we've obviously been this time of year, just letting the rig lower nice and slow. Keeps everything tight, so if you do get a fish on the drop, you can see that bite. I may actually have to put another shot on, because I do remember last time we had quite a lot of wind, and I took one shot off because of the wind, so it looks like that I'm definitely going to have to do that. I will say, guys, I can't guarantee it's going to be an action-filled episode, this one, but you know, like I said before, we're here to show how we get on in the league, and you know, first fish size. Got a little bite. Second inside. First one of the day. Lovely little fish. It's the first place we're not water licked, which is what we don't want. That's on a double maggot, and it's not even touched those double maggots really. It's all nice and juicy and ready to go back in. Just follow that same approach. Around 15 or so maggots in there. And this is why I like the really light elastics, especially this time of year, because you see how hard I struck, and it means you can strike hard but not affect pulling it out of the fish's mouth. You can sort of seat the hook well. The elastic takes some of the shock, which is when you're fishing the silvers sort of need to really that's a bit better. Better fish, isn't it? Better ride that one. Absolutely had it, this one was.
A video on flat side fish with a flat side nose, Ben.
Yeah.
I think Cliff will be on there. You mum for that guy, yo. Okay, just saying how good a boat they are.
Absolutely mullered it, that one did. Having to dot the float nearly under the water to see any of these bites. And I've also put a little bit more feed in. That seemed to got a couple more bites a bit earlier than the others, so maybe not something. I still don't want to go wild, but some good fish coming out of the other side, which are way bigger than what we're having over here, but might be just a case of sticking to the plan. Just going. Break playing silly buggers. Having a special moment here. Tell you what, boys, it is. May not look it, but it is proper cold. Especially the pole. Just lowering it in nice and steady. So I'm going to start with dead reds and pellet. That's what I'm going to start with. And if you haven't got dead reds or dead maggots, just roll them gently on your knee. You you want to kill them, but you don't want to puree them onto your leg. It's just 10 or so little rolls, and then they'll go limp. And then we've got some soaked 4 mils. Guys, I've got something on the bread. It's like a little carp. It's a nice little mirror. There it goes. That's welcome. I knew that there were a few. And I'll get a few out there that were knocking at the bait. It's definitely a welcome fish. I've seen a few other people catching, so I thought I'd give it a go. Hooked perfectly. Know it. Move that out the way. Some well needed weight in the net. Get some more triple Here's a triple stamp for my bread. I'm sure a lot of other people do that too. A quick stop on a size 14 matrix hook is this one. It's an MTX, MXC should I say. Hook. Into another one, guys. Some don't feel very big. Looks like might be a skimmer or an F1. Could be an F1. No, it's a little mini. It's a little small cat. It's nice like getting them out on it, baby. No. Welcome all the same. Right, guys, so we're back home after a rock hard day. It has been really hard. It's been super cold. A lot of the weights have been low weights. On the strip pond, Kelv did £38 on the end peg, but the closest to second was £9.11. That's what it's been like. There's just a couple of pegs that have really done the damage. On my pond, Mike got the win with £50. Which were two to the side of me, and he got a bit of space, and he could throw out a bomb and bread, and that's how he's caught. I caught a few on the bomb on the bread, but nothing, and I didn't have a lot of space, and I just couldn't get anything going. And Tony again in the other corner, a few carp turned up, and he got second with I think just under £30. Apart from that, everybody else on the pond were just low weights, and I ended up with fifth with £7.4, which, I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it. As I'll be honest, I packed up at nearly an hour before end. I was that cold, and just left my net ready to weigh in. And it was it's just winter in it, winter fishing. So yeah, fifth, another 5 points. I've got one to drop, but I'm about mid-table, something like that, so I can live with that out of sort of 20-30 anglers. So you know, it's all good. So yeah, not the most exciting video, but there's a few fish on there, and you can have a look. And you've seen some fish landed, so that's better than nothing. If you want to join us on the Facebook group at Angling For You and just ask any questions, and just fantastic people on there. If you want to join us on the Instagram at angling_for you, we can just tag us in photos and see what we're up to. And if you want to go on a playlist, find any other style of videos, not just match videos, tackle videos, all sorts of reviews, then get yourself onto the playlist. And until the next one, guys, thank you very much for watching, and tight lines.